Welcome to Voices of Women. I'm your host, Chris Stanis, and I'm also the founder of Woman of Wisdom Foundation. We are in our 30th year. We have been putting on amazing conferences. Well, 30 years, it's unbelievable. And over the years, thousands of women have come through our doors. And now, the last 2 years, we are doing it virtually. And it's just as intimate, it's just as life-changing and fulfilling for women to join us. So check it out at our website, womanofwisdom.org. We have two special guests that are keynote speakers, Rianne Eisler and Cynthia James. We have lots of workshops and panel discussions, and you will meet people from all over the US and make new friends. It's great. Again, check it out, womanofwisdom.org. And today I have one of our presenters. She's new with WOW this year, Millie Forsberg. She is a minister. She became a minister in 2019 after graduating from Holmes Institute and is currently an assistant minister at MileHi Church, a Center for Spiritual Living church in Lakewood, Colorado. She has been an RN since in 1984, working in various areas of critical care. It's important for Millie that people have adequate, affordable health care that they can seek without the fear of affordability. She's a mother, a grandmother with great concerns for the world for her, that her children, grandchildren will inherit. Social justice and diversity is important to her, and she has participated in committees to address issues that are prevalent in the current climate. She loves to travel, so do I, read, hike, swim, and explore different faith paths. Her spiritual community extends beyond a church building. It is being in community where she lives and serves wherever there is a need. Millie is presenting a workshop at WOW. It's called Redefining Connection in Shifting Times. And we all know we are in shifting times, and we still are here. Who would have thought, 2 years later, but here we are. And welcome, Millie. We're going to talk about this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. So just start off with, I'm curious how, because it's kind of part of your topic, how did the pandemic impact you and your family? How did you deal with it?
There was, of course, the sheltering in place sort of thing and not being able to see them. We weren't able to see each other, but of course we could talk and utilize Zoom a lot more. And my oldest daughter and son-in-law were sick with COVID before they knew what it was. They were just extremely ill. And this was right before the shutdown in March of 2020.
Yeah.
So, so we were very careful. And I was laid off from a position as an assistant minister, due to the shutdown. And then I worked as a nurse from home. So I had a lot of feedback that, was really instrumental in like this talk that I'm going to be doing or this workshop.
Yes. And one of the things they're anxious to get back to normal. And yet in my circle, we just hear, well, what's normal? We're not going back to normal. And there's that desire. And so what will it mean to get back to normal, or what will that normal look like? Obviously not like our old normal, probably.
Right. That's one thing we have to change our thinking on. And that is the aspect of getting back to normal. There is a new normal, and we're not going back anywhere. So what we're called to do is to recreate and reimagine what our normal looks like going forward. That old saying that you can't go forward if you're looking backwards. And that is true in this case. What is this newness? What are we being called to do? How are we being called to communicate and to be together during this present normal time?
Present normal time. And I think we're being creative about how we're getting together. So, it's interesting because last spring, or for us, we were early winter, people getting their vaccines, we started to get out. And then in summer, we can be outside. We were starting to get together with people because, we're vaccinated. And then boom, right after Christmas, Omicron came. And then again, that's that, okay, pull back. What do we do? How do I keep safe, especially if someone in your family with immune issues, which I do in my family. And so you have to reassess, like, okay, what's going to work for me? Oh, and that missing of, well, we did. And there are some people you kind of have your pods. There's some people you're willing to get together with, and then that you feel safe with. And then but I know more people that have COVID, got the Omicron COVID this last month than I ever knew from the
Yeah.
first go round. And so it's interesting because, and then some people are relieved, like, oh, okay, I've got it. I've got the antibodies. Phew, I'm done. I don't have to worry about that anymore. They talk about, like, most of us will get it at some point. Anyway, it's just interesting times we're living in.
Right. It's true. And it's, and this these viruses, the variants affect all of us differently. So it would just behoove us to remain diligent with our safety measures.
Yeah, and what works for you.
Yeah.
Well, one of the issues and especially the first year, maybe I feel we've moved through that, but grief was a big one, a big feeling tone that was going on. And so talk about that, how that manifests, and how can we deal with it? And I don't know, I'm seeing kind of a shift, although it's kind of like this holding in, like, oh, here we go again, which
Yeah.
different kind of grief of
Yeah. Yeah. I think that a lot of reactions that you're seeing in people nowadays, if you just look around, you see people are angry, and I don't know how they drive where you are, but where I am, it's like, oh my God, they're so aggressive. But I think that what we're seeing is this collective grief because things are not back to normal. And then we called into a new normal, and it's uncomfortable. So we've we've lost our spontaneity. We can no longer just, like, I haven't flown anywhere yet. Just because it's like, okay, do I go? Do I not go? Is somebody going to disrupt the flight? We have all of these things going on. So I just do what I can do. And that for me, let me just digress a little bit. So when I was doing the nursing, I was doing telephone triage. That's when I realized how much grief there is going on with people, because they would call. Sometimes they would just call to talk to the nurse. They weren't sick or anything like that. They were just depressed, and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I can't see my family. Single people felt really isolated. And so a lot of things that we're feeling is grief. The bottom of it is the grief. And it's going to take a while, I think, for us to get through this, because we still have this little thing hanging over our heads called this pandemic.
Right. And it's kind of a complex grief. It feels complicated.
Yes.
It's not just you can put your finger on, it's one
Right.
thing. So how do you work with people to help them get through that?
I try to, some things I do. I do run a grief group in my community. And then I talk a lot of one-on-one to people, to clients, and I just try to encourage people and say, look, it's not going to always be like this, but this is what we have now. How can we work our way through this? Because sometimes people have been so stuck in, well, this is the way it's always been, and this is the way it should be, until they don't see the possibilities, how we're being called to create a new awareness and a new way of being, and that new normal. And for a lot of people that I talk to, once they realize that, what, this is grief, because it hurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorrowful that it's not what it used to be. And what can I do about this? So it's, I think just understanding people where they are and accepting them where they are, and just saying, you're okay right where you are. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. There's just a certain amount of grief involved there.
Mm-hmm. And so in the workshop, you're going to be helping people get through that, and also,
yes,
And to embrace the changes, like maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure what you're going to do in your workshop, but I think part of that is even looking at what's in your future. What can you create for yourself that's going to fulfill those needs?
Mhm. Exactly. It's the simple thing. It's the little things. I love the beach. I love to travel. So as you notice, my background is of the beach. I'm not on the beach, but it's something that I can do to be in that space. And it's not, I'm not going there, but the thing of it is, what can we do? And it's the little things. It would be great to get on a plane and fly to an island.
Mhm.
But since I'm not going to do that, what else can I do? And so I try to give people alternatives. Okay, you can't do this. What can you do? Um, what can you bring into your reality? If you can't get together with family, can you create a Zoom party or gathering? Or when it's warmer, you can all meet outside or in a park, or meet somewhere outside to have lunch together, which is what I did a lot of last year. I met my friends outside while it was warm. So it was, maybe we couldn't get together over each other's houses and sit back and, just enjoy each other like that, but we could get out and do things. So it's finding those alternatives and helping people find those alternatives, because it's easy to sink into the grief and the depression and just be in it and not move from it. So that's what I'm hoping to do in this workshop.
Mhm. Yeah, help people move. Well, and partly something you mentioned is, connecting to a deeper level of consciousness. I mean, this has
Mhm.
been an opportunity to go within.
Yes.
We are in our homes, we might be with a partner, but we're with very few people. And so things have quieted down. We're
Right.
such a moving, fast forward culture,
Mhm.
not just US, other places in the world too, but particularly
Sure.
here. And so it allows you to just slow down and then discover, well, what is important to you, and what would you create when we're done over, when we get through this?
Mhm.
What are you going to bring in that's new to your life that you've been wanting to for years?
Right, exactly. So many people are doing that. People are um, quitting their jobs, or they're not, they don't have two working people anymore because COVID has taught them that one is enough. One person working, maybe they don't need but one car. And so what else can I do? People have wanted to write, they've completed their books, started painting, they're just doing so many things. And that going within, that consciousness allows that deeper connection to spirit, or whatever you call it, and allows you to just be in that place of love, of self-love, and of love for your fellow man, because this is what we're called to do. We're called to turn within, to go within and really connect with our higher selves.
Yeah, so true. And one question I'm asking everybody, how your workshop fits in with our theme, which is celebrating, and I forgot to mention it, celebrating our sacred pearls, nourishing the divine feminine. How do you see that in the work that you do and what you'll bring in
Oh,
to wow?
yeah, definitely. That's self-nurturing. As women, we have learned, a lot of us have learned, especially those of us who are, a little bit older. I mean, I'm a grandmother, I can say that. We learned to take care of everyone else. And we did not nurture ourselves and take care of ourselves. Our whole world surrounded our family, our friends. We took care of everyone else. We cooked what other people wanted. We worshiped the way other people wanted. And now I think women are turning within and saying, it's okay for this to be about me. And so what I'm hoping to bring into this is to bring that sacred feminine in, and just say, you know what, it's okay for you to love yourself and honor yourself and nurture yourself and set aside that time for yourself, and to do it on a higher level. I think we really are called to do that. And I think we're doing it. And
Mhm.
it's workshops like this and that, we're doing it. We're going to do it.
Yeah, and that's what WOW is all about too, just the connections and
Mhm.
being with others, other that, yeah, we're like-minded people, but we have diversity.
Right.
And to hear everybody's stories and share your story and witness everybody is so powerful. And that's what, so it's a great time just to be together because, yeah, okay, it's in Zoom again. Oh, I don't want to sit in a Zoom weekend. But no, you're going to be interacting, like we make it experiential where you're in breakout rooms with maybe just 4 people sharing. And so you do have that intimate level that you think you're not going to get in a Zoom conference, but you do. Yes, we
Yes.
miss being in person, but there's something rich about being in Zoom too. That's right.
I love Zoom. I love it. I do, you know.
Yeah, I find my attention is
Be-
more focused. Like I can look at you, the
yeah,
speaker, the workshop presenter. My focus is totally on you because you're the only thing I see on the screen. And then
yeah,
if I'm in a group with just 3 others, I'm focused versus if I'm in a room with a lot of people, I might be distracted by what's this person doing over here or looking out
mhm,
the window, all sorts. So I find my focus is more tuned into really what is there for me to receive. And that's part of
yes,
what to receive and to give. There's
yes.
that reciprocity. Well, what last message that you would like to leave people with today?
Um, Join us. Come and join us and just get all that you can, glean what you can from this workshop. It's just for you. Yes, it's for us as the presenters, but it's for you, it's for all of us. And we get a chance to be together. I love the idea of being together with people from across the planet. And we get different ideas and just different ways of being and just get a chance to love on each other. So please join us.
Yes, thank you. March 24th through the 27th. Go to womanofwisdom.org. Our early bird price is through February 15th. But even after February 15th, our prices are reasonable for 3 full days, starting Thursday night opening, and then 3 full days of events. And workshops are 2.5 hours long, so they're very much in depth. And yeah, it's great. So join us. Just check it all out at womanofwisdom.org. Thank you for being here today.
Yes. Thank you.